Honestly speaking, I had planned to read only 25 books in 2021 because it seemed a lot to me and I had never read more than 20 books in a year. But when I started reading, my interest for books increased and I ended up reading more than 45. Now I understand this may not be a large number for many experienced readers, but for me it's really great. Moving forward, let me first show you the books. Bring them. अच्छा हम ही को लाना है. Now these are not all the books I read in 2021. There are some 9 to 10 books which my friends borrowed and I don't have those with me. But anyway, I will talk about all the books I read the last year, which includes fiction novels, biographies, self-help books, short stories and so on. And if you have been watching my videos, you would know that I have talked about most of these books in previous videos. And there are more than 45 books, something 47 or 48. I don't exactly remember the number, but the thing is I'll be talking about them in very brief to make this video shorter. And you can always let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books. I would love to hear your opinion. Now without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Oh my god, I'm on fire today. कोई बाल्टी भर पानी लाओ यार. अरे मम्मी क्या कर रही हो? कैमरा भीग गया. The first book is The Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. It's a mythological fiction that retells the story of Mahabharata from the perspective of Draupadi. It's extremely emotional and gripping. Next is Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. It's an illustrated classic fiction that will tell you the story of Robinson Crusoe, a sea adventurer who got washed up on a deserted island when he met a sea storm. If you love traveling and sea adventure, you would love this novel. Next is God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. It's the winner of 1997 Booker Prize and it tells the story of two egg twins, Ista and Rahel, who belong to a Christian family in Kerala. Love, politics and social discrimination is the main focus of the book and the story is highly depressing. Next is You Can Sell by Shiv Khera. It's a self-help and motivational book for learning the art of selling and improving your communication skills. Next, Metamorphosis by French Kafka. It's a classic novella which tells the story of Greyjoy, a traveling salesman who magically transformed into a insect-like creature. It's also a depressing book. Next is Before You Start Up by Pankaj Goyal. It's a self-help book for aspiring entrepreneurs which will tell you how difficult it is to start a company, what type of challenges you will face and how to prepare for those challenges before you jump off the cliff. Next is Deep Work by Carl Newport. It's a self-help book for increasing focus and productivity. Next is Death, an Inside Story by Sadhguru, a self-help book that will teach you many things about death. I have talked about this book in the previous video. Next is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. It's an excellent crime fiction featuring Hercule Poirot, who is a famous fictional detective just like Sherlock Holmes, and he solves the mystery of a murder on the train. Next book is You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jane Sincero. The title explains the book very well. It's a self-help book that will teach you how to be confident, how to love yourself and how to improve your life. The next book is Alice's Adventure in the Wonderland. It's a classic fantasy novel that tells the story of Alice who fell down a rabbit hole to find a mysterious world inside. Next book is Big Magic, Creative Living Beyond Fear by Elizabeth Gilbert. It's a self-help book for those who want to be an artist or live a creative life. The next book is The White Tiger by Arvind Adiga. It's the winner of the Man Booker Prize 2008 and it tells the story of Balram Halwai, who is a philosopher, servant, entrepreneur and a murderer. The story is very humorous and it focuses on corruption, poverty and oppression in India. The next book is Animal Farm by George Orwell. It's a classic novella that tells the story of some farm animals suffering from the oppression of their owner. On a deeper level, it's a political satire that represents the Russian Revolution of 1917. Next is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. It's a classic self-help book based on the power of thoughts. The next book is Alibaba, The House That Jack Ma Built by Duncan Clark. The book will tell you how Jack Ma created Alibaba, one of the largest e-commerce companies in Asia, and it's a good read for entrepreneurs. Next book is How to Develop Self-Confidence and Influence People by Public Speaking by Dale Carnegie, a classic self-help book for learning public speaking. I've talked about this book in the previous video. Next book is Without Fear, The Life and Trial of Bhagat Singh by Kuldeep Nair. It's the biography of brave Indian freedom fighter Bhagat Singh. Related to Bhagat Singh, there is another book. It is Why I'm an Atheist and Other Works, and it is a collection of letters and articles written by Bhagat Singh himself. The next book is Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. It's a non-fiction book based on vulnerability and shame. It will tell you how to embrace your imperfections and fight shame. Next, Punachi or the Story of Black Goat by Perumal Murugan. It's a political fiction that focuses on poverty, famine and oppression in India. The story revolves around this goat named Punachi, and it will tell you what cruelties Punachi and other goats had to face in their lifespan. The next book is Norwegian Wood by Murakami. It's a romantic fiction and one of my personal favorites. The story has humor and it's very nostalgic and heartbreaking. The next book is 4-Hour Work Week, Escape the 9 to 5, Live Anywhere and Join the New Rich by Tim Ferriss. This book will teach you a new way of living, and it will also tell you how to be productive and have more time and freedom to do what you love. The next book is The Martian by Andy Weir. It's a science fiction novel that will tell you the story of Mark Watney, an astronaut stranded on Mars. The book is all about how he survives the challenges on the planet, and the story is very adventurous, humorous and thrilling. You see this book, Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. It's a special book. This is one of the books which I could not read because the language was very complex. It really hurts when you love something but you are not capable to do it. The next book is Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life by Hector Garcia and Francis Miralles. I think that's how we pronounce it. So it's a self-help book that will help you find your purpose and live a physically, mentally, spiritually and socially healthy life. I found that the book is somewhat overrated, and that's why I will recommend it to only beginner readers. Next book is 400 Days by Chetan Bhagat. It's a mystery and romance story of Keshav Rajpurohit, who helps Alia Arora, a mother and ex-model, find her missing daughter. I'm not a big fan of Chetan Bhagat's book, but I still read them because they are entertaining and humorous. Next book is Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. It's a classic science fiction that will tell you the story of a mysterious world inside the Earth's surface. The story is full of adventure, science and mystery. The next book is Wisdom from Ramayana on Life and Relationships by Chaitanya Charan. It's a self-help and spiritual book that shares 19 stories from Ramayana and life lessons from them. Next is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, a self-help book that contains 21 ways to stop procrastinating and be more productive. The next book is Roads to Missouri by Ruskin Bond. It's a collection of short stories and incidents that took place in the life of Ruskin Bond. The stories are very nostalgic and contains humor, so you would enjoy reading it. The next book is The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. I made my first YouTube video based on this book. It's a classic self-help book that will teach you the basics of personal finance. The next 4 books are Sherlock Holmes novels by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. They are A Study in Scarlet, The Sign of the Four, The Hound of the Baskervilles and The Valley of Fear. These are some of the finest detective stories ever written, which are packed with suspense, thrill and mystery. I loved reading these books, and out of these 4, the best and my all-time favorite is The Hound of the Baskervilles. Oh my god, I loved it so much. I have to read it again. The next book is Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. This is an enlightening self-help book that will teach you how you can control your ego. The book will make you humble and failure resilient. The next book is You Are the Best Wife by Ajay Pandey. It's a romantic, heartbreaking and true story of the author. The story is really very painful. Next is Everybody Writes, Your Go-To Guide to Creating Ridiculously Good Content by Anne Handley. It's a self-help book for improving your writing skills. Next, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. It's a classic self-help book based on the law of attraction that will teach you how you can utilize the power of positive thinking. Next, Wherever You Go, There You Are by Jon Kabat-Zinn. It's a self-help book for learning mindfulness meditation. Next book, I'm not counting this as a book. It's Birthday Girl by Murakami. It's a short and strange story with an open ending. And this book proves that don't judge a book by its cover. The Girl Who Knew Too Much by Vikrant Khanna. It's a suspenseful romance mystery which I won't recommend you to read. You can read it only if you are a beginner. Next book is Yourself by Gary John Bishop, a self-help book that will motivate you to take action. The next and the last 5 books are from the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. Percy Jackson series is a set of 5 fantasy adventure novels based on Greek myths. These books are packed with action, adventure and humor. I really loved reading these books. I have made a detailed review about these books. If you want to watch it, I will put the link in the description. So these are all the books I read in 2021. I hope you have found some good books to add to your reading list. And I admit some of these books are very popular and you must have read at least a few of these. So let me know in the comments which of these books you have already read And you can also subscribe to this YouTube channel where I mostly talk about books. Thanks for staying with me. Meet you in the next video.